10 minutes on the podcast to talk about it?
Absolutely.
Nobody's going to be watching anyway.
It's Carice's kitchen.
Carice's kitchen.
Hey,
we're already recording?
Yeah, why not? I mean, hey, we.
Are you running the podcast today, Mike? This is a terrible decision.
I was about to move Tim into the corner because we know he's going to talk the most.
Oh, Tim's kitchen. There we go, babe. Took me a second because I'm slow.
Tim's kitchen is he's in the hot seat. That's what they like to call it. Jesus, Carrie.
Hi. Yeah.
What is it? You're on your phone, huh?
No, I'm on my computer, but like the lighting's always terrible in this room. Every room I'm ever in, and if I try to mess with it, it's the light beams. Is it that bad?
I get you. No,
it's not that bad. No. You want? I'm gonna give you a little pro tip here, advice.
Yeah.
Okay. You want the light to always be facing you. So like if
it's
your
above
camera,
me though.
If your camera's right here, you want your light to always be behind your camera, not like in front of your camera.
That's true.
See, this is great. I expose even more of my floor.
Oh yeah, dude, your place.
What is?
Look at you're selling stuff, Mike.
Are those orders?
Yeah, those are orders.
You didn't take a picture for that and put it on Instagram?
Dude, you got a Monster Squad poster?
Yes, sir.
I love that. That's like my favorite.
What's the other one? What's the other one back there?
Goonies.
Why do you have the fan going?
Because it's hot up here, Tim.
Didn't it just snow?
A week ago.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Are we gonna do you have to do the Jimmy introduction here?
Yeah, I was working toward it. I mean, I can do it from the bottom corner. I would like Joe to do it. Go ahead, Joe.
Come on, Joe. Let's hear it, buddy.
Let's go, Joe.
I'll wait for you guys. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mike.
Joe.
We're all out of sync.
Yeah.
Come on, Joe. Say it.
No, what do we call ourselves now? The number one reselling?
No. We'll just go with the baseline. We're no longer mediocre. We are sub-mediocre.
Sub-mediocre podcast?
Well, when you have other podcasts that consist of nothing but friends dropping on the same day as you got to be absolute shit. I mean,
it's a good thing.
Are we going to talk about that? Or
yes.
Are we talking about how our podcast dropping on the same day?
Yes, Carrie.
It's a sports card. Are you talking about the sports card one?
Yeah.
Why are you concerned about a sports card podcast? Because you guys are reselling.
I know, but yeah, I mean, y'all are all resellers that do sports cards and resell sports cards. And mainly, I don't like the fact that Keith Vintage Sports Flip watches y'all before he watches us. It used to be the other way around.
Well, yeah, it's just that's the smart use of your time, though.
Are we gonna tell people
sleep in an hour later and then
he's gonna listen to both of them? Don't be so worried about it, man. You want us to tell Keith next time before we start the podcast right at the start to watch yours first? Will that make you feel better?
With Locker Room. Start a war with Locker Room.
No, dude. No, don't start a war with Locker Room. You got to be hopped up on cocaine or something to deal with that guy. It's just too much. It's too much. I don't want to really deal with Rocky Top when he's just going wild,
Okay. Well, do it on Monday then. You can do it on Monday. There's no longer a reselling podcast on Monday. There's
used to
only
be on
an unemployed for a living podcast.
Oh yeah, that's just the two AI guys that just talk like they're on NPR the whole time?
Yeah, that's it.
You guys,
I love it.
Are you guys like super what's the word? Like competitive with that podcast? Or who's the podcast you're competitive with? But just the sports card one now?
We're barely a podcast, Carrie. I don't know if you know.
It's fair, yeah.
Yeah.
It's fair. I watched it I watched it the other day. It was okay.
I mean, we have Jimmy that decides to go ice fishing for some reason.
Okay, let's talk about this because, I come from the streets pretty much. So, like, I've never really encountered this
Tunisian hat mafia.
Okay, are these fish that he's catching?
Cool runnings?
Listen, Carrie and I have a good, cool running story. But
I do.
Can you eat is he eating the fish that he catches while ice fishing, or is this like a catch and release thing, or like is this like what are we doing?
I think there's certain size. because he
they're
said
eating it
today that he had a keeper. So I'm assuming he kept it. They eat it.
Yeah, they're eating it, then they're releasing it like, I don't know, like 24 to 36 hours later.
Well, that's a good question. Do you poop it? Is there a hole for the poop in the same place as the hole for the fish?
What? Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Do you poop into the lake if you're ice fishing?
No. So he has one of those big old cabins that they roll out on a trailer and like.
See, right there, that's where I draw the line. Like, how do they know that it's thick enough ice to do that?
Yeah, that is a good question. I don't want to wake up in the ocean or
they
the
drill
lake
through
in this
it.
Case.
I mean, it's pretty annual, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, there's global warming now, so like I don't know.
Yeah.
The ice fishing regulations have to be like altered.
It changes every year.
It snowed 7 inches in Florida. Global warming's out the window. Okay?
No, that's from global warming, bro. The ultimate outcome of global warming is the ice age.
Yeah, the ice age is what got rid of all the dinosaurs, Tim.
No.
That was
it's what happened, dude.
Did some comet hit the Earth or something?
Yeah, it's a real weird story that they've created. Listen, there's this new show on Hulu called Paradise, and it's like, I don't want to ruin it for you, but watch it. It's intriguing.
Okay, thanks. Good plug. Let's move on.
What's that have to do with?
Hey, Reseller Leftovers Podcast, episode 66. I believe it's 66. Sorry, we forgot the intro.
You guys have done 66 episodes already?
I think so. Before we dive into conspiracy theories and everything, but Tim,
why?
I want y'all to know that we are a reselling podcast. I don't know. How am I the one steering this toward reselling?
Dude, how did this happen?
I did a 45-minute dibdit.
I miss when Soda City Flips was on this podcast. What happened to him?
We kicked him off too. The dude just
what happened to 545, the sports card guy? I miss him.
Brandon, shout out Brandon. That's
shout out Brandon. Guy. Good dude.
He said 545, 540 flips.
Yeah,
540,
720.
Same thing, right?
420, backdated. Anyway, so good Lord. Yeah, all right. So those of you who don't know, it's kind of evident. They have a podcast, drops on the same day as us. It is y'all want to pitch it? I mean, I can sit there. It's No Banger Sports Card Podcast. No Banger Sports Card Podcast. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if it's sports card or sports pod. No Banger Sports Card Podcast. Y'all check out Tim and Carrie, both very good friends of the channel. And Tim is everybody's favorite soulless ginger in reselling. And
but I don't have red hair.
Yeah, he doesn't have any hair.
What?
He had hair.
He had hair.
I did, but then
I'm going that way.
It's red, isn't it?
No,
reddish.
It's
dirty auburn.
Blonde.
Dirty blonde.
You ain't dirty blonde. I mean, you're half that, and it ain't blonde.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I have the tri-color three-color patch beard. So there's some gray in there. There's some brown. There's some black. There's some red.
You kind of look like the mascot for Notre Dame a little bit, to me.
That'll work. I'll take.
Are you trying to tie this in the cards like a tri-color patch? I know you guys
see it. Thank you, Joe. You caught it.
Color matching.
Yeah,
color matching. Okay.
It does. Unfortunately, it's not a color match. Top to bottom is not a color.
Oh
match.
no, carpet doesn't match the drapes.
Nope.
No.
Oh man.
No. Thanks.
Well, it depends. Like, are we?
We're supposed to be pushing the sports card podcast right now. We're not doing a good job.
No Banger Sports Card Podcast. It's a fantastic podcast that we have started with myself, Carrie, and Rod. We do it all from our kitchens. And we talk about all the different things that are going on around the sports card world, as well as, just dropping our knowledge and what we learn along the way of our journey of collecting and selling sports cards for a living. It's pretty awesome. I think it's appealing to a wider demographic than most of the other sports card related content that's on the interwebs, because that stuff can be very all different ends of the spectrum. Like, the world is ending, global warming of sports cards, and then there's I don't even know how we're like analogy for the other end of sports cards where it's like people are spending money that they don't have. It's like $50,000. So yeah, that's our sports card podcast. We're right in the middle. We're just a couple of guys trying to have fun.
Which is, yeah, it's really, I like to think of it as like the everyman reselling sports card podcast. It's all about like just how you can practically make money flipping cards day to day without worrying so much about like the up and down of the card market. Just kind of like with reselling, there's stuff that's always going to sell if you find it. With sports cards, if you find certain things at the right price, they're going to sell really irregardless of, is that right? Or regardless of the general market going up and down. Like if you pay the right price, you can make some money. So that's kind of what we're doing. And it's serious. It's a lot more, I mean, we have fun, but like it's a lot more serious than definitely, the garbage podcast I'm on. So
thank you.
The other podcast, the sports card one is not garbage. The other one is though.
Can you turn other people's cameras off? I don't get only stop.
I don't know how you do that. But so no bangers, right? I thought the whole thing with bangers was the T-shirt guys. Does that have anything to do with this?
T-shirt guys.
Don't they say this is a banger when they
Tim says everything's a banger. Yeah. Banger piece of glass. It's a banger shirt. It's a banger hat. It's a banger card.
But that seems like a good thing, right? So why are we no bangers?
Because we want people to realize that there is money to be made and cards to be found that don't cost $10,000.
Oh, okay.
So a banger is like all about the high end, flashy card that they're showing on Instagram that's worth 10,000, the Paul Skeens debut patch or whatever. And no bangers, the whole philosophy behind it is we go through these low end dollar boxes, $5 boxes, $10 boxes, and we find, we arbitrage. We go in and we find the $3 card we can flip for $8. And there's a real way to build that up. A lot more so than just hoping. A lot of times with sports cards, people are going to card shows and they're like paying 95% of the most recent comp, meaning like if it's $1,000 card, they're paying $950 if they're lucky. And then hoping it goes up, or maybe they'll make $20 on it. I don't know. I don't understand the thought process behind it. But if we have $950 to spend, me and Tim, we're coming out with a Brinks truck full of sports cards. That's what we're doing, and we're gonna make a lot of money.
I've come out. I've watched y'all's Instagram just religiously throughout time. I follow both of y'all on the card channels and everything. And then it just screws up my algorithm. So I'm seeing people that I don't know. And you have this guy that goes in there and he does that. But I mean, he's getting cards at 80% value. And I'm talking $1,000 cards you get it at 800. Is that worth it? Like,
no.
I don't think so. I mean,
unless you have like an unlimited bankroll, like of capital, like, because think about it like this. Like if you were doing that like on a day-to-day basis, so that was your living, imagine what your capital has to be in order to like have a functioning business of that. If you're spending $800 on one card, right? You have to have an inventory. So what do you spend? If you buy $800 cards, now you're spending $8,000. Think about, you have $8,000 of capital tied up into 100 cards, right? What happens? You have to move those cards, and you know what I'm saying? Like, how long can you sit on those cards, and before you have to end up taking a loss just to sell it to get the money back to invest into the next $800 card? The business model is a lot more difficult than what we do.
Exactly. Like, I mean, I think I started my card channel as a juxtaposition to that. Like, I saw so many, and I enjoy the videos. I saw so many videos where it felt like the guys had to spend more money each video. It's like, I spent 10,000 at this card show. I spent 20K. I spent 50K. I spent 500K. Like, just, it had to get bigger and bigger. Right. And I'm like, I can't relate to that. Like Tim, me and Tim for so many, I mean, I still am like this, like got like $100 budget or 500 now for me, or 6 or 7 I can do on most shows. But for most of my life, it's been, 200 if I was lucky was my budget for a sports card show. And, if I screwed up, I wasn't making money and I might not be able to go to the next show. You know what I mean? Because I made mistakes. So it just wasn't relatable. And I think there's a lot of people who want to just make some extra money, just like the same with reselling. They want to make an extra couple hundred for a car payment or whatever every month.
I think that's really what has, like where our card aspect buying and selling comes from is our background in reselling. Like for me, I want to buy as cheap as possible and sell as high as possible. Like that's the golden rule for reselling if you want to be successful. So like for me, it's worth the time to spend going through a box of cards, and I got a card show and spending $200, and I come back and like my average cost per card is usually like I try to keep it under $3. Most times I'm at like $1.75 to like $2.75 per card, right? Now I can turn around and sell those cards at bare minimum to get my money back, but there's going to be a handful of those cards I'm going to 20, 30, 40x on sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm the profit margin is so much better there, and that's coming from the mentality of like my regular reselling business.
Well, what leads to that? Because I watch y'all digging through dollar boxes, and I went to Mobile Flea Market yesterday, and they had a card booth there. Guys, ton of slab stuff, some loose stuff, some ungraded stuff, and then I see some that are like a dollar box. I mean, dollar box. He had one part where he just like basically pulled all his Bryce Young and just stuck them in there. He's like, Bryce Young's going to the dollar box, but having that other stuff. How do you explain coming across stuff that's $20, $40, $50 in a dollar box? Is it that volatile?
Well, I think a lot of times there's so much nuance to it. The market's ever changing, and it's not often that we're going to find $40, $50 cards in a dollar box, but you may find them for $5 or $10. So the thing is, there's a couple things. First off, Ellie De La Cruz a couple years ago, he got called up and he hit, what did he hit, like a home run or a grand slam his first game, or something like
so
that.
He hit
and
for the cycle.
He hit for the cycle, something wild. So his cards, he was a little hyped up, but his cards that day went astronomical. I literally went to my card shop the next day, and I bought like 60 something Ellie De La Cruz, or it was within a day or two. They were still in the dollar box because it's not like these card shops are going, oh, Ellie did good. I have some people maybe in smaller shops might do this, but for the most part, they're not going back and digging through and taking them all out and put them in the $5 box. They're going to honor that dollar price tag. And so if you're keeping track of what's going on in sports, you can find those deals. Also, it's education. There's certain parallels throughout time that people might not realize are valuable. I was going cross country 2 years ago, and I was in Arkansas, Fort Smith, Arkansas, and they had a little shop, 50-cent box, a lot of like $2, $3 like Ken Griffey Jr. stuff that I can buy. But there was one Ken Griffey Jr. card that was a gold signature, which are one per box back in the day for collector's choice. And that was the best player you could get, I would imagine, Ken Griffey Jr. I paid 50 cents, sold it for 48. So, I mean, that's that. But like, if you look at that card objectively, you might just think it's a random parallel or something from the 90s, might be worth $1 or $2. If you didn't have the education, and a lot of it is like, I just grew up in the 90s collecting cards, so I knew that.
Do you ever run into, like, if you do go to a card shop or a show or whatever, and then you find something in that box and take it to them, do they ever, and they're looking through your stack of cards that you're buying, do they ever say, oh, that wasn't supposed to be in there, or that was...
Yeah, that happens occasionally.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's even like, I mean, I don't always do this, but occasionally I'll tell people, I'm like, this probably shouldn't be here. Like I pulled out about a month ago, 2 months ago, a Nick Bonito, who's a linebacker for the Denver Broncos, gold prism rookie to 10 out of the dollar box. Now, it was like fresh stuff that had come in, so I wasn't sure if it was on the dollar table. And I'm like, dude, I told them, like, this, this is $1. And they're like, yeah, we're going to honor it. We'll give it to you for $1. I sold it on auction for $103. So, okay. And that was, yeah. So, I mean, that I did tell them, but sometimes they're just like, that's part of the joy. Like a lot of stores are cool with, maybe that's a little excessive of an example. It's not often that happens, but a lot of those shops are cool because you're digging through those boxes and you might do really good on one card, but you're also picking up a lot of stuff they've had sitting in there for a year, 6 months. And they're like, yeah, we're getting money out of that stuff that we've had sitting around forever.
Well, at least you told them, otherwise you're going to be stuck in the position that Kevin was, where he finds.
I don't always, but that was like, it's not like I've done that every time, but yeah. I do sometimes when it seems egregious, like the difference in value.
Yeah. Kevin finds $20 in a Betty Boop can, and people are expecting him to jump on a flight and take it back to the people in Florida like he magically remembers their address.
Exactly. Or remembers anything.
He's getting ripped a new one. It's so great.
Yeah, there's no greater joy than Kevin getting ripped apart by the comment section. It really is just something that
My
builds me up.
favorite ever Kevin the Commonwealth Picker comment section was the Bible short that he had on TikTok. Oh my God. I sat down for like a good 30 minutes every day and just read those comments. It was so much fun. That, and then I had a short of me and Cernock where Cernock bought the Mighty Ducks hat off the old man's head. Oh my God.
I remember that one.
Those people went in on us. They were like, "We're going to report you for elder abuse."
That was on the way to
100 mile.
What, Highway 27 on the way down?
No, that was on the way to the 100 mile.
100 mile, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all were all the way up north coming down at a car wash or something, huh?
It was a thrift store. We stopped to go to the thrift store, and the guy, old man, he had to have been like 80, 90 years old. It was hard to even understand anything he was saying. But, like, he was out there chilling, and, like, it was a real, like, it wasn't anything shady, but he had on I think it was the Mighty Ducks Splash. Splash hat, snapback hat. It's like, probably like at the time, probably like a $200-$300 hat. And Cernock was like, "Hey, you want to sell that hat?" And the guy was like, "Yeah, sure." So like there was no ATM around. We didn't have cash on us yet because we were on our way to Virginia to go meet Kevin and everybody. And so we go to the gas station and we pull out some money. We come back and the guy's like, $20, and Cernock gave him $20 and a new hat to wear. And the guy was like cool with it. But man, those people ripped us a new one on the comment section.
I tell you that it's best that y'all stay off the internet because of how cheap y'all are. I mean, it's really bad. I mean,
listen, I am about as cheap as it comes. It doesn't get much cheaper than me. One time when Kevin was buying something from a viewer, and he was buying like Mickey Mouse watches or something like that, and there was 2 pairs of Doc Martens on the table, and I walked up and I was like, we were exchanging stuff, and she was like being nice to Kevin. I was like, "Oh, well, if we're giving out deals, how much you want for these 2 Doc Marten boots?" And Kevin's looking at me like, "Don't be cheap, don't be cheap, don't be cheap." And I was like, "I give you, how about $20 for the pair?" And Kevin turns his head and looks at me, and the lady's like, "Sure." And I'm like, "Sweet." And then we're walking away. Kevin's like, $20? And I was like, "Yeah, man. I mean, what do you want me to do? That's my budget." Joe was with me when we were at the one table. The guy's like trying to sell me stuff for like $20, $40. I'm like, "Nah, man. I'm more of a $1, $5 type of guy." You know what I'm saying?
And you got these Doc Martens for, you said $20?
2 pairs for $20. One of them was pink and one of them was black. So
nice, man.
Well, you were also the guy that also bargained with the guy to get half price parking at a sale, right?
Dude, I love that. That's like my favorite. There's a lot of Tim moments. There's the time where we divvied up the sports cards. You got the Hank Aaron. I got like everything else. You killed it on that one. Or I love the podcast where we talked about glass paraphernalia. We've had some good discussions throughout the years. But it was so cool. Yeah, we were parking at the, what was it, 127, Tim?
Yeah,
and it was $1 parking, and you were just I thought you were screwing around, and like, I'm gonna try to get it for less, and you offered 50 cents, and like how fast that guy accepted the 50 cent was really off-putting. I'm like, wait, so maybe we don't even have to pay anything. Like, I almost felt like you could have just said nothing and he would have let us in. Maybe he was just hanging there and put the sign up.
I wasn't upset, but I was like flabbergasted. I was like, why are people charging? Because that was the second time we had to pay to park. We went to the church sale where you bought all of those cards, remember? And where you found the Steph Curry rookie card. And it was like $5 to park in the church parking lot. I was like, what are we doing here? Why are we paying to go to yard sales? Like, this
it's to help what they're doing there at the church, bro.
Well, yeah, I guess. But the other guy, listen, you got to be careful with where you give your money to these churches. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just... Yeah. Oh yeah, man.
No,
Let's
no,
leave
no.
it alone.
Dive deeper. Dive deeper into it, Tim. We're
So,
listening.
man, you got to watch out for those Catholics. They're pretty shady
I
people.
stopped going. That guy walking around with a plate. I thought he was giving me snacks. No, he wanted my money.
Yeah, no, I'm good on that. I don't know where that money's going. So, I mean, the lady was at the parking, like she looked like she was in a rap music video. The way she was holding that money, I thought she was gonna hold it to her ear like this. Like, what are we doing here? Like, I mean, I don't know if God likes this.
Well, now that we've hit conspiracy theory, geopolitical talk, and now religion,
We're hitting all the basics around here.
Yeah, just this is what we talk about.
So we do have a timesheet thing here on the screen.
no, we don't do anything like that. Not
No,
like
I see it right here. Let's get to the first topic.
Oh, dude, we've all been. You're talking about time management. No. See, I'm actually not taking my advice, and we're just going off the deep end on here, not managing our time that we have, our short time with these two fellas.
Yeah.
But, while we were talking about your market, while you were talking about your podcast and everything, rumor has it y'all have a market coming up.
I heard
Yeah,
that.
it's
rumor
already
too.
here, dude. It's already here.
Yeah, it just kind of happened like out of nowhere, by
Yeah.
the way. I just want to put that out there. Like I was talking about it, and then all of a sudden my phone just started going absolute berserk without any heads up or anything. And it's just like, we're here. Okay, all right. Thanks guys for the heads up.
Anytime you're doing anything business related with Dave, especially, it goes from 0 to 60, typically in like a day and a half. Like I think Dave, like we're going to talk about this, Dave quitting eBay or whatever, like that went from like him thinking about it to him having the video out in less than a week, I feel like. You know, that's just how he is. And we thought about Dibdit cards and no bangers, you know, collabing basically and doing a sports card Dibdit basically. I mean, we've been doing cards on Dibdit for a while, but I mean, if you're on Whatnot, you know how massive sports cards are in the live sector. And, you know, we just wanted to use, find a place where people, you know, create a place where people could come in and sell cards on auction and buy it now and try our hand at it.
I do want to say this, that, you know, I told everybody a long time ago, okay, Kevin put out a video and they were asking all these questions and what's the next big thing and where's reselling going in the future. And I told everybody, I said, District's going to be the future. And once again, it's just nobody listens to the crazy guy with the beard and glasses. And here we are now. It's some of the biggest names in the reselling world, and we're all having district marketplaces. So
you were like one of the early Whatnot adopters too, weren't you?
Yeah.
Tim?
Oh yeah, I was. Many. I mean, 6 years ago it feels like. So it's, you know, a little shout out to this guy, you know, Tim, over the years. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but you know, give that guy a little bit of love.
Tim's the first person I heard anything about Whatnot, and
Yeah. It was in the same sentence of, you can ship a car engine for $1 on Whatnot. That's how you heard Whatnot for the first time.
The good old days. Oh my God. That used to be crazy. People, and this is the thing, this is what's wrong with humans, man. They always ruin everything, you know. So I'm glad to be one of the good guys, but man, people know how to ruin things. Like I like to refer to it as wringing the rag, right? Like, I don't know if you guys have ever wrung a rag before, but like people wring the rag, and that's what happened with Whatnot. They started wringing the rag, and they were being a hot about it. For those of you that don't know, when you're being hot, it means like you're being obvious about something that you're not supposed to be obvious about. And they would just be like, all right, I'm going to sell this sticker and then unlock your shipping. And next thing you know, they're selling car engines after the sticker because it was $1 shipping. Like, I mean, y'all got to be a little bit more low key about it. You know what I'm saying? So that ruined things really fast.
But everybody was doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And the great thing is, I mean, when you talk about Dibdit and the Dibdit cards and the Dibdit sports and the Dibdit threads and all that, like the best thing about it is Thrift Mind has not found out about it. He is really clueless.
Oh,
that is true.
What a douche.
Yeah. Dude, he had the most cameras in any garage sale video I've ever seen. He had him like on the baby stroller. He had so many GoPros, every angle, none of which you asked for, by the way.
That
you
was
just want
one
to
of
see
my
the stuff you're finding. That's it.
That was one of my favorite Carrie moments ever. when he wore the Whatnot sticker.
Oh, that's early
the
trash to
to
cash. Yeah, because he was
episode.
talking trash about it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good
Oh,
one.
I miss the cancel. Like we do need like a competition with some sports card podcast or whatever. I think that makes it more fun. You know, there's no other reseller guys talking sports cards. You guys, I don't know what you guys talk about on this podcast. I've never actually listened to an episode.
There's a whole
but like,
thing of here that we're going to talk about stuff. It's quite
We're not
interesting.
sure either what we talk about. So
Yeah, it's usually not that. Now, y'all still do Whatnot, and I've completely shifted away from it. Like I enjoyed it and everything, but it's absolute shit in comparison to what we have going on over at District. And I'm not going to dive into all that crap because we talked so much about District last week. Kevin did call me immediately after watching it. He's like, "Hey, you didn't mention you can wait to ship." So I got to mention that you can wait to ship, folks. These orders behind me, 109 orders into 12 boxes, because those same people could come back through 5 different shows over 4 different days, and that's it. I mean,
that really is like one of the killer features of District in general is the fact that you can do multiple. I mean, like that's what I'm going to do this week. I did my Whatnot auction. That's my Monday thing. It's something I've built up and I have some momentum there. But my whole like my real thought process with lives is focusing on Dibdit and Dibdit cards. But I love the fact that I can do a Tuesday sale, Wednesday sale, Thursday, Friday, however many I do, and then on Sunday or whenever I can ship that all out in one shipment, and they can combine the shipping. You can't do that on Whatnot, and it's a huge thing. It makes life way easier. It allows you to stack up, those sales where it would be a big pain on Whatnot to have to ship.
Yeah, and not even that, but the buyer aspect of it. Like, think about like this. Like, if you were, there's people who go live on Whatnot every single day, right? As a buyer, like after that live ends, you have to go back and pay shipping all over again. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that you have progressive shipping on multiple shows, it's a game changer. I mean, there's a lot of things on District that's a game changer, but I mean, like, and just the flexibility you have, because I think people don't realize it, is that you're in control of everything in your marketplace. You don't necessarily, like with Whatnot, you have to rely on Whatnot, and like think that's the big problem is that, like, a lot of people, when you originally went to Whatnot, was kind of like a little bit of a freedom thing from selling on eBay, right? Like, we all still sell on eBay, except for Dave now, but we all still sell on eBay, and you kind of, with Whatnot, you felt like a little bit of freedom from eBay. But now Whatnot's kind of like become eBay, and District is the freedom from Whatnot. And the different marketplaces. So it's just kind of like this evolution where like Whatnot got super greedy, and they ruined something that was good. I mean, great. It's still good, right? But it was evolutionary at that point in time. It changed the game of reselling, and it's all that started though on YouTube. I don't know if you guys remember when I was doing YouTube live sales.
Yeah.
Like that was the whole concept.
You never do that anymore.
No. Because I don't need to do it anymore, because I can just do it on the live selling platforms.
7 years ago, 5, 6, 7 years ago, me and Don were doing Facebook sales. Basically, we would do big old scenes every like Sunday night or a couple times a month. On Sunday, Don would take pictures of all the furniture or cool antiques we had in our shop, and then we delivered free all over Utah. So I mean, like, one thing about reselling, cards or anything, it's constantly in flux, and the more you fight against the current of progress, the more you're gonna basically have a hard time with reselling. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've won big by just betting on something that's new, because you can do several at once, and if they don't work out, you move on.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I mean, TikTok changed my whole life because it enabled me to meet people and get into the other social medias. Whatnot really changed how I sell completely, and then that has gone into District, which really allows you to use your social media, which I've created. We've all created a certain social media credibility. We can cash it in now. Honestly, it's cool.
Yeah.
Now, how many shows would you hold your stuff for? Or does it not matter? Is there a limit on it? Or do you tell them in the beginning of the show, hey, I'm going to be shipping out, in 5 days, but I'm going to do a show each day, come back? Is that how you?
I would do it for less than, I would never go more than a week.
Yeah.
So if I
exactly.
plan on having 3 or 4 shows, I will let them know, hey, it's scheduled, or I'm scheduling. Hey, I've got this one Wednesday. I'll be back tomorrow, and then I'll be back Saturday or Sunday. And then like I package everything up Monday, and then it'll be picked up tomorrow. Like I've scheduled the post office. Any of y'all do that? Do you go on USPS.com and schedule the pickup?
Hell no, they ain't
I
coming
don't
to where
trust
I
them.
live to pick stuff
Now,
up.
now that I moved out of Philly.
They got people dropping your mail off, Tim, don't they?
Yeah,
I
but
mean, barely. Like,
you probably can't leave it outside, right, Tim?
hell
Or-
no.
No, you don't
Right.
have to leave it outside. You can put it, say, ring doorbell, and then
No, I'm
they'll just
good.
pick-
No, I'm good. I drive like 25 minutes to go to a post office because I built a relationship with that post office,
And
and
it's safe.
like I go there and like they see me, they open up the back door. I go back there, I drop all my packages off in the box, and then I give them my scan sheets. Done deal.
I do.
If I have if I have like one or two, and like I'm on a time crunch, there's a couple of post offices not too far from me, closer that I can go do that with. But like I don't know, man. I have a weird thing about trusting who I hand my mail to, especially like a lot of mail and a lot of breakable mail too.
I used to go to when I lived in the city. I used to go to like one of those contractor places that was not like the post office. I used to call it the fake post office, but I would go there and I got spoiled by him because he only got paid by scanning the packages. That's how I knew that they were getting scanned every day. But now that I moved up where I'm at now, I can leave them outside and don't have to worry about them
Yeah, I
disappearing.
just schedule mine for knock on the door or ring the doorbell. And
Mm.
my last postman in Georgia, because like in the rent house in between here and before, like when we first moved to Florida, I didn't really know him. It had a community mailbox. Nobody ever came to my door. But I was just going to run up to Starbucks, get a $20 gift card, kick it off right, and kind of set. I would always take care of my postman, like Christmas time and stuff.
Oh,
I
yeah.
get them a gift card, stuff like that. And it's crazy that people don't take advantage of that because I don't want to drive. I don't want to rely on them. Throw it in a big bin. When they put it on the truck, they can scan it for you.
Well, I mean, well, listen, I like to use I use the miles though.
Well, yeah. I mean, there are definite benefits for you, and like you said, where you live and the relationships you've already built, it kind of adds up to it, or factors into it.
Well, when I moved up here and when I started doing the pickup or whatever, and sometimes I would see them out there picking up, so I would go out and talk to them or whatever. But I always had like this, like he would ask me because he would see like the eBay tape or whatever on the packages or whatever. Oh, what are you selling? What's in here or whatever? And of course, my first thing was like, I'm not telling him nothing what's in this thing, you know what I mean? But it turns out he's a great guy and all that, and he does resell himself. So that's what we were. That's how
I
we
would
were
tell
talking.
him that I was selling used underwear,
Yeah, just diapers. That's it.
Diapers. Yeah.
diapers. The
Uh,
diaper game is crazy, bro.
I had
Dude.
something, and I was going to bring it up on our podcast a couple weeks ago, and we kind of
You should put that on a shirt, by the way. The diaper game is crazy,
It's
bro.
crazy.
That merch that up, dude.
I was going to bring it up before profiting off of death because there was like this weird statistic. I'm sorry,
Coming from the death pile
it,
picker. All right.
Yeah.
it applies to your specialty, so I really want y'all's input. I was going to send it to y'all as a topic and be like, "Hey, this is something y'all should talk about." But that reliever, he used to be a starter for Baltimore, and he became a reliever. You're an Orioles fan, yeah?
Yeah.
Who was the reliever that died like 2-3 weeks ago?
Oh, it was
But you know who I'm talking about.
yeah. Oh my god.
So
Brian Mattis.
Brian, okay, so
Mattis, yeah.
Mattis, yeah, I thought it was like Matusha, but it's Brian
pronounced
Mattis.
Mattis, yeah.
Okay, so Brian Mattis, he passes away, unfortunate
R.I.P.
circumstance, whatever. But on the day of his death, I was like, you know what? I want to look at this. I would just go on there and say Brian Mattis auto, like for sports cards. And 39 out of the 42 sales were that day. like, is that something that y'all look for? I mean, somebody dies, like instantly look for anything that you have? Why do you think a no-name person like that can make the market shift?
I think there's a line to a certain extent, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, so for example, I bought an OJ Simpson t-shirt from Dave and Carrie. They were live on Dibdit. I bought that shirt for pretty cheap, and I had it listed, and it was listed for like $100 something, and it didn't sell. We get lowball offers like every other, maybe like every 5 or 6 days. It was probably listed for maybe like 2 or 3 months. 10 minutes after OJ Simpson passed away, that shirt sold. You know what I'm saying? So like for full asking price. So sometimes it's not, it happens organically, right? Like I guarantee you that probably 50, I'll say 50% will, I guarantee, maybe as high as 75% of those cards were probably already listed, but sold because the person passed away. Yeah. So like,
and they were listed low. They're not the high price ones.
And then there's things like when Kobe passed, there was a lot of like kind of, borderline unethical practices going on. Like people were running to like the Nike outlets and buying up all the Kobe shoes and then reselling them, right?
Yeah.
Like I understand it. It's part of business, you know what I'm saying? But like sometimes it just is better to happen organically. And then I think it also depends on the manner in which the person dies. That kind of like, change things. Yeah. So like somebody like who, Willie Mays passes away, right? Like it's a little bit different, than if like somebody who's like a 20, 30
Aaron Hernandez would be a good example of like being serious though. Like Aaron Hernandez, like I will not go out of my way to find, like if I find a really valuable card, I kind of have trouble with that if I find it in a bargain box. But I got a Aaron Hernandez in a collection, so I sold it because I got it in the collection, and I didn't look out for that card.
The one that I sold to you.
Exactly. So I flipped that card. I don't usually look out for them. Also for me, like it depends on how important. Like sometimes I get a little weird about it if the player passed away. I don't like to look. Buy the card just because of that. But I've been buying Ricky Henderson because for whatever reason, I don't feel the same way. Like it's just, he was a legend. And I think a lot of it's interest and introspection and us reliving our youth and how much that player meant to us. So in a way, it's kind of like people want to get some PC cards of those guys because they meant something to them when they were younger.
And so I mean, it's natural though. Like when Jimmy Carter passed away, I'm sure Jimmy Carter, collectibles went up. Right, like it's a natural like evolution of like the news cycle.
3 years to die.
What's that?
I said it took him like 3 years to die.
Shout out Jimmy Carter. I was kind of upset about the Jimmy Carter slander that I got from Kevin on Trash of Cash. That was uncalled for, Kevin. Jimmy Carter was a great president. Yeah, don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
He was a great dude for sure.
He was on hospice for a long time.
Yeah.
In my head, I was thinking like hospice is towards the end, but like he lived, a long time on it. But I'm also on the flip side of talking about all the cards, like when someone dies and it sells, with the black cloud that I have following me and the bad luck that I always have, I'm like the guy that's stuck with like the Henry Ruggs cards. And
I have a whole box of Henry Ruggs stuff.
Yeah, Wander Franco.
Oh, they're in the same box.
All the ones that had the bad. Press it. They're all the ones that I have. You know what I mean?
I'm cards aren't locked up too.
Yeah. So I'm never, that guy that, benefits on the sale of that. I'm the one stuck.
There are weirdos out there though that collect like, like imprisoned athletes and stuff like that, and imprisoned actors and those sort of things. I mean, people listen. The first time I ever sold a remote for money, I said, the world is weird. So, like, people want to buy weird stuff. I'll sell them weird stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you just got to – it's a supply and demand sort of situation. I want to know, before I forget, what's the latest on the socks, Joe?
Sockgate, he's still doing research. I haven't heard back from him. So.
You haven't heard back from him? Okay.
No.
Sockgate that one was interesting. I mean – the sock game is crazy, Joe, for you.
Yeah. Yep. So
What are we talking? Are we talking like stance socks, or what kind of socks are we talking?
Wigwam.
Uh,
Wigwam brand.
is it like wool? Like what's special about those?
They are wool socks, I believe. But I had a return, or no, I had a negative feedback because the guy didn't like walking around with them without sneakers on. They were fine with sneakers, didn't like them with
These were brand new socks, mind you, Carrie. Brand new socks.
So in the meantime, as soon as I got that, I sold 6 more pairs of them. And then I got the negative feedback, and then I got the cancellation from the guy that bought 6 more pairs before that because he has to do more research on them. Then he checked back in about a week later. I'm thinking somebody's messing with me, but he checked.
Well, people are very particular about their feet. You know, a lot of people, not just for socks, but
I'm a guy who
need to take care of those for business. You know,
I don't take my socks off unless I'm in water. And I don't do research for socks. Yeah, I the only time I take my socks off
is sock and sandal guy
if I'm in water.
Saying. Your sock, like, what about flip flops, or do you wear slides?
No, I don't wear any of those things.
Just shoes.
Let me rephrase that. Josie eventually made me buy a pair of they're flip flops, but they're not like tongs. Or thongs.
Yeah. Oh, the tongs kind?
Tim wears thongs?
You just put your foot inside of it, but they still flip and flop when you walk.
You're wearing the thong wrong. That's not how it works.
They flip and flop when you walk, right? So that's why to me everything's a flip flop, right? If it's not a shoe, it's a flip flop because when you walk it flips and flops, right? It goes
well, it slides
like that,
when you
right?
slide on, it doesn't necessarily.
But it flops when you flip.
Kinda.
Okay, so she was telling me that if we're going to the beach and like the resorts and stuff, you can't like walk around with like socks on and shoes at the beach. Like you have to wear these, and I started wearing those then. But yeah, but like I wear socks and shoes everywhere I go, and when I'm at home, I wear socks. If I'm in bed, I wear socks. If I'm at the beach, I usually wear my socks till I get to like the sand spot. And then I can take them off and put them inside my shoe. But then as soon as I rinse all the sand off of my feet, I have to put my sock back on.
Well, you're crazy, but Josie's smarter than all of us combined. So, I mean, with the exception of marrying you, Josie is smarter than all of us combined. But I'm not going to disagree with her there. Yeah, wear the flip flops, but the shoes at the beach and the socks, like, my gosh. Lighten up, brother.
See, I gotta protect my feet from the outside elements.
That's the sun.
Everything, like rocks, I don't need my feet to be like they stay like protected at all times.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's different though. You're DC, so there's hypodermic needles everywhere. Hey, I was like doing this because y'all only apparently cared about Joe's sock gate, but my Zoom thing, I did a request for revision.
Is this the MP3 player thing?
Yeah, the MP3, the Zune MP3 player. Request for a revision. I just wanted them to like either take it off or make it neutral, whatever. Positive feedback. Just says seller gave me full refund. I don't know how it's positive because it's kind of like a backwards saying of seller sold me broke shit. But I mean, whatever, dude.
Just stop.
Green.
This is my advice.
Josie can hear me right now. She just texted me slides.
Yeah, I told you, dude. Slides.
You guys got to stop calling. You got to stop calling about negatives. How many? Like, it's just a waste of time.
Okay, knock on wood. It's not.
Didn't call about it.
It's not. Let me tell you something.
I don't want to waste my time though. Like nobody's checking your negatives if you have 1 and you have 5,000 positives.
I stay at 100% all the time.
Mike only sold.
I respect it, but I don't. It's not really necessary though, is what I'm saying.
But I know. But this is the thing. It's the principle of it, right? Like when I be listening to all these people telling all these stories and stuff like that, I'm like, man. Listen, number one, I don't accept returns, so I don't never gotta worry about none of that tomfoolery that I hear everybody talking about. Right? I don't do returns, and I cover all my bases. Right? So I make sure that I got all my insurance policies because of all the words I put in everything. So like I know that I can't like they can do whatever. I've had INADs and I've won them all. Like people trying to tell me these things are different colors and this and that. Like I don't do none of that. I don't play no games. You know what I'm saying? No returns, none of that. Like I got the 100% feedback. Like if somebody tries to do some feedback, craziness, I hit up eBay. I'm like, yo, this right here, nah, not gonna cut it. I'm gonna need that gone. And then bam, gone. You know what I'm saying? But like it's a principle thing with me. Like I like my business to look good.
I respect it, man. We are very different when it comes to that kind of thing. Like, it's not like I don't want my business to look good, and we don't have bad feedback either, for the record, on eBay. But it's just, it's always with me. It's like, is it worth my time? But at the same time, it probably is, because the time I'm saving, it's not like I'm using it for anything productive. If I was like listing and I didn't want to get distracted, we probably should take it more serious. But I always think people don't check, unless you are like 91% on eBay. And they go, what the heck is wrong with this dude, right? Yeah, that I'll check. But like if you're 99.6, I don't think anybody's clicking. I mean, I also am a believer with like feedback on eBay is a little bit antiquated. At least the system, the way that it's done nowadays, I don't think a lot of people are looking overall. Maybe it's just because of the way it's set up. Maybe if they set it up differently on the dashboard, they would look. I don't know. I just don't feel like unless... Like you have to be a type of person who's really worried about it, and then you have to have a bad enough feedback rating for them to actually click on it, for it to really make a difference in your business. I can understand wanting that to look perfect, though. I get it.
I want mine to be at 100% because I'm trying to save the Philly reselling name, because there's another Philly guy out there.
No, you got to really work on that because he's dragging it down.
Well, I think with our averages, we might be
allegedly
we might be in the 80s between mine and his.
Well, apparently
in the 80s.
You're doing something good enough with the 92% feedback, and just completely abandoning it, because now Dave's doing the same.
I mean, shout out Paul, man. Paul, let me tell you, man, because like that takes a lot of guts to do that. And then Dave doing it now too,
it really
especially,
does.
You know what I'm saying? Because like, like I live by I can't put all my eggs in one basket, you know what I'm saying? But like, if you're going to do it, you can do it like how they're doing it. The thing is too, is that like, you gotta think about it like this, like at any given point in time, they could change and go back, right? Like it's
they're not deleting their eBay or anything.
Exactly.
It's just they're taking the stuff off or shutting the store down for a certain amount of time. And also, like you said, you don't want all your eggs in one basket, and they don't. I mean, if anybody's diversified, it's freaking Dave, as far as income. Like people, a lot of the people on his channel after he talked about that, they don't understand they maybe do understand that he's doing other stuff, but they don't understand he's generating revenue in a lot of ways they probably don't even understand. He can take a risk like this, and it's not really a risk because he can come back to it.
I talk about it all the time, is just to start over. I would love to get rid of everything that I have in eBay and just start over as a new reseller back in eBay.
I kind of did that. I'm kind of doing that right now.
Shopcommons.net, Joe.
What's that?
List it all there. Shopcommons.net. List it all on there, and you can start over. That's what I'm going to start doing, dude. I'm going to go down, and it's going to be digging in the death spot between Dibdit and Commons and Threads, and I'm just going to go through there, and I'm going to start blowing shit out, dude. I mean, blowing stuff there.
Dude, I sold a card on cards, Dibdit cards already. So we have the first sale on Dibdit cards already. So
who was the
that's
buyer?
Exciting. It was somebody who follows us, like somebody who's
Rocky Mountain.
Oh no, it was what's his name? It was a W name. I forgot.
No,
but yeah,
he's
Rocky, somebody.
He's Rocky Top Collective. Rocky Top.
Warren. It's Warren Myers, and that I think is Rocky Collectibles.
Yeah, because I think he's a Broncos fan, and you sold the.
And I also I'll leverage my social media because I can send. I can sell stuff on Instagram, but if I put something at a good price, I could just send them from Instagram to, and
You
I
know
could do
what's
that for
kinda-
other people as well. Just this is
You
a
know
good
what's
deal.
kinda
Go check
awesome
it out.
now? There's no more of the people. There's no more of that. Like, remember for a while there was like this like stigma, and it was everybody was like trying to create this revolution against YouTube resellers. You notice how that's just all gone now?
No, it's not there.
Is
It's
it
not
not? Is
gone.
it gone?
I don't hear it as much anymore.
Well, that's because Tommy Bernard's not on Instagram. What do you mean?
What happened to that dude?
I love
Seriously,
I don't
I have
know.
not heard from Tommy for like a year and a half.
And the shit got hereditary. I don't know.
Tommy's got a good heart. He means well. He's just a little misguided sometimes.
To be fair, I don't know Tommy, and we had him on the podcast back in the day, but like I feel like Tommy, objectively or allegedly or whatever, he reminds me of somebody who like gets into something, right, and then over time will nitpick about things about it, and then end up hating it, no matter what it is. Because I would find him jumping on like new podcasts over and over, and then it's like he'd get. I feel like he got sick of them after some time. Just
same could be said.
Nobody's perfect,
Same could be said for anybody. Like, well, I mean, I addressed it one time with other people. I said it about Dante when he just threw out allegations about some BS, and then the same thing with cancel this podcast. They got exactly what they wanted. Like, who the hell names their name?
Canceled, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that shit just went downhill. But
it's because they didn't want to do a reselling podcast, and they were resellers. That was the problem. If they would have done really well if they were consistent and talked reselling. They would have been big as or bigger than us, honestly.
I mean, shout out Joe. Joe's been in the game for a long time. I remember watching Joe do a video, and he would shoot his video in front of the staircase that went upstairs. You remember those videos, Joe? That was the first time I ever found Joe. I said, I like this Philly Picker guy. And then, ever since then, me and Joe, we've hung out multiple times. We've hung out in like 5 different states, Joe.
We have.
We've been in Cincinnati, Kentucky. We've been in Kentucky twice. Kentucky twice.
Yeah.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We've been me and Joe, we've been around. That's it. We were all together, and what else?
We've all hung out with each other in different states, like many times. Yeah, we all were in Kentucky. I met Joe there for the first time, and we're technically in Florida. Mike's in Florida technically, but like it's weird Florida. I didn't realize. I really don't. I'm starting to understand Florida now that I live here. You are like 4 hours away from here, dude.
You live in the shoelace of Florida, right?
The panhandle? What do they call it?
Shoelace?
They call it a panhandle, but it's more like a bootlace.
Okay, I'm in the boot.
It's more like the
I'm
taint is what I would say of the shaft of Florida.
The what?
That's a very Mike comment.
It's the taint of the shaft, because like I'm on the top of the shaft going down, and you're like in the taint area. It's true, like it's the shape.
Whoa.
It's the shape of Florida, dude.
I know, but you can't say I'm on top of the shaft going down. Like that doesn't work.
But I did. I literally did that though.
You did.
Where you feel most comfortable. Okay.
We can say it.
Jimmy's gonna. Are you sending this to Jimmy to edit?
No.
Okay.
This is going on there straight, dude.
I didn't even realize I did that, Tim, either until you told me. It's funny.
Where's the best place to be?
I appreciate the fact that Trash and Cash uses innuendo, and Carrie's just like, I'm not here.
Like I said, Shaft. We don't know what I'm talking about.
Great movie, great album too.
Which is Samuel L. Jackson, sure.
No, that's not
Isaac Hayes, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine. No. Oh, you're talking about the original song. Yeah,
the original, dude.
Okay. Richard Roundtree, then. That's what we'll talk about. Hey, I want to give a shout out to all of our members. I'm trying to pull them up right now.
I can do it.
Above and Beyond.
Why can't I do it?
I don't think you can see our members, dude.
I can. Keith Finch's Sport Flips. Jackie Rose.
Where are you seeing this? You have it memorized?
Yeah. Trash to Cash podcast.
Oh yeah, are we sponsoring this too?
Oh no. That is the newest edition, folks. We're break even now with thanks to YouTube's selfish policy of taking 3/4 of your money. YouTube, but Trash Cash Podcast signed up for the ultimate tier.
What does that even mean?
You don't motivation. That means at the end of this, after all of this is done, you're going to get some Ron Burgundy-esque gold coming across. And I mean, you're going to wish I had punted Baxter when I'm done demotivating Trash to Cash.
Demotivating?
Oh, yeah. That's called demotivation. I think Carrie has motivational speeches. I'm just.
But when do I ever motivate in those, though? I just do skits is all I do. But I'm ready to be demotivated, dude, because the one thing I need is to somehow be less motivated than I am right now. So go.
You know what I need? I need a Dave and Carrie rap video.
Dude, that would be cool. I thought we were going to be doing more music stuff. Dave likes, I like when me and Dave, actually do the motivations because they're better. But, Dave's always good at, setting the table, and then I can just ad-lib. I loved when he did, it was all his idea to do the little random logos or whatever, and then we would just ad-lib what we were talking about. That was all him, and I loved it. But I'm not creative enough to get to that part. But he set it up, and then I was like,
I don't understand why they can't spell right.
No, at all, dude. I cannot. I would have a new American Arbitrage logo if they knew how to spell arbitrage. They have no. I've tried everything to explain it to them. That's why, when I do ChatGPT to do logos for my shows on Dibdit and stuff, I just say Carrie's Card Show or something because they understand how to spell my name.
All you have to do is say, change this, spell arbitrage, ARBITRAGE.
I did with the dashes and everything. It doesn't work. See, try to make me one, Mike.
In there, spell it out to them.
You try and make me one. See if you can figure it out because I can't, dude. Seriously, I've tried 100 ways.
Yeah, I'll handle it. But yeah, definitely rap video. Do something with some mall walking uniforms with some Adidas, just very Run DMC-esque. Borrow Tim's Puma hat.
Oh yeah,
the last song you did, what was that? Paul's merch. I mean, I went around singing that for 6 months or 8 months. So I finally just got that out of my head. So.
We need to release that on Spotify or something.
Let me shout out the people that are subscribed right now before we dive into this last thing. But Trash Cash Podcast, obviously, thank y'all very much.
You're welcome, Mike.
You're welcome. And then Triple R Collection, go over and check them out on Junk Jaw Podcast. Is that it?
Yeah, Junk Jaw.
Junk Jaw Podcast.
Is that Trash Philly Jaw, the JAWL?
That's John.
John, yeah. Okay, I get him confused.
That's a Philly thing.
And the Trash Cat Rescue, Jacqueline Rose, Mike Medco Meetups, Mike Camparelli, thank you very much.
Yeah, Camparelli.
And then Vintage Sports Flip, Keith. Even though you've forsaken us by watching us second every Wednesday.
Logan Murphy. Can I shout out Logan Murphy real quick? I hope you're okay, my friend. We miss you.
Is there any message him on the Discord if y'all were ever on there?
Yeah.
Was he? I never even check our Discord. Is that even still active?
I think he was the Murky Waters guy.
That always leaves out the T in arbitrage.
Yeah, it just does does 2 I's and 3 R's. It's weird.
I'm on Photo Room's AI, and I got 1 out of 20 where it actually spelled it out right.
Photo Room has the logo thing now.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Nice.
Shout out Photo Room.
Shout out Photo Room, dude.
Seen a check from them, but
I got back in the day, they paid me for something. I forgot what, but I like Photo Room. I don't use it much anymore because I'm doing mostly cards. It's not really necessary.
See, I do all white backgrounds for my cards, and I do add shadow to them to make them pop a little bit.
I should put all my cards on a football field through Photo Room. That'd be dope.
Is Mike taking a personal phone call? Is that what he's?
Either that or he's ordering pizza.
I think he's looking at videos probably.
What do you think he's ordering? Pepperoni?
No.
I think Kevin's calling to yell at him.
As a guy who eats pineapple on pizza, which is weird.
Do you just put a slice of pizza on a full pineapple and just bites?
Dude, I knew a guy. So this guy I used to know back in my drinking and partying days, and he used to go to the bar I went to all the time. And he owned a company. It was a junk company, but he was a big time gambler, like big time gambler. And so one time he asked me and the bartender, "You guys want to go to Atlantic City?" And we're like, "I mean, I don't know." And he's like, "They'll pick us up right now." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah." So like literally like 10 minutes later, there's like a limo in front of the bar, and he's like, "Come on, let's go." So like we get in a limo and it drives us to Atlantic City, and like we go to this hotel. I think it was, I want to say it might have been Trump at the time, and or Tropicana, I can't remember. Yeah, he's doing.
That's
weird
what it
stuff.
always does, dude. Every
Yeah.
time. Thanks for the cowboy hat, though. I dig it. You kind of like it.
And like we get out the limo, like they take our bags up to the room, and it's like a triple cabana suite, and he's like ordering room service. Like, "You guys want anything?" And I'm like, I don't order room service. I don't know. He's like, "Dude, this place has the best pineapples in the world." And I'm like, "We're in Atlantic City, bro. Like, what are you talking about?" And he ordered like 6 bottles of Grey Goose, like 2 12-packs of Red Bull, a carton of Marlboro Reds, and a pineapple. And sure enough, they came up with the cart, and it's a plate of sliced pineapple, a carton of Marlboro Reds, a couple bottles of vodka, and a couple of 6-packs of Red Bull. And he's like, "Dude, try this pineapple." And like we're eating pineapple in the hotel room in Atlantic City. He's like, "It's so good. It's the best pineapple in the world." And I'm like, "I don't know. This tastes like Dole pineapple to me, but okay." I mean, it's free. I'm not gonna complain. But yeah,
Maybe his taste and senses is dulled by the Marlboro and all the alcohol. Possibly.
I mean, I hate coconut, American coconut. I don't like American coconut. But I went to the Dominican Republic. Coconut's crack down there. But I won't eat American coconut. American coconuts are no good. But Dominican coconuts?
I lived in like southern Mexico as a Mormon missionary, like Veracruz. So that's like the capital of pineapple and coconut in Mexico. And like the fresh stuff was amazing. Yeah, dude, I cannot figure it out, dude. I'm telling you. Thanks for putting pawn shop in there too.
Take yourself off of mute. So
no, that's the best part. Like he has to like talk it in because he can't type because I don't know.
I don't know because I don't have Chat GPT.
That might have been like his spelling of it because he doesn't. Do you know how to spell arbitrage, Mike?
I remember how to do it. It's R-bit rage. That's how I
R-bit rage. That's what I tell everybody. R-bit.
ARBITRAGE. So yes.
Wow, dude, that's awesome, dude. I didn't think you could do it.
I'm aware. I can do a Carrie's Kitchen if that makes you feel any better. But
I can't. So if you could fix it for me,
dude, I will work at it because now I'm kind of like Tim. Whatever the hell I want to do, if I can't do it's the principle. All right,
dude. Yeah, dude. If you could make me one that's just halfway decent, I'd love. Don was able to figure it out.
Are we going to talk about changing slow sales because I love that topic?
Changing slow sales, yeah.
What are we changing it to? Slower sales or better sales?
So it's the whole time management thing, and like I kind of touched on it when I was talking about being able to ship this kind of stuff, but I have not followed through. I've managed to release a video. I'm like 4 away from 3,000 subscribers now.
Congrats, dude.
I mean, I want to shout out myself because I did a big turnaround. I used AI technology for a thumbnail, and it was going to be like the prices were high, and so was she. So I had this old guy like screaming, and this lady was holding a joint. And the problem is, I fat fingered it and it said the price is we high, and so is she.
And you put it out like that?
Oh, I released the video. It was out for a few hours, and I looked at it. Dude, within the first hour, I had 3 unsubs. I was down to 90% on my thumbs down. I mean, there were cancer patients that were canceling their chemo appointments because they didn't want to be on the same earth as this thing. Like this video, I don't know what I did, but I know what I did. I just told you what I did. But apparently it did not sit well with
the general public was not
general public.
Yeah, that'll happen.
But
just listen, the eBay thing, because I love to be able to yell at people, right? And these are the people, because there's a lot of these people out here, and they're the people that tell you that eBay is this and eBay is that, and the Krylofts and
Yeah.
the reselling mafia and all these guys, right? Listen, if you have slow sales, you have
Stop
nobody
it.
to blame but yourself. You're not listing enough. You're buying dog crap stuff.
You're
You're
pricing it
taking
wrong.
crappy photos. You know, like it's simple. Buy good stuff, list the good stuff, and list it good.
Here's
You
the
will
thing,
have
like if
slow
you had
sales.
a silver Jaden Daniels rookie card right now and you went to go look at what the going rate is and you priced it slightly below, right now, how many Jaden Daniels rookie cards at the right price? We're talking the best price on eBay. How many would you sell in a day? Tim, what do you think right now?
If I had like unlimited
Like you have an
amounts of
infinite amount. Like you would sell hundreds in a day.
thousands. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So the only thing you have to do, and this is the trick, right? You have to find an infinite amount of those at the right price so you can be profitable. Obviously, that's the trick with that card in particular. But if you price items right that people want now, you're going to sell stuff on eBay. They're not going to prevent you from selling it. You're 100% right on that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like buying like $5 dog collars and you're taking pictures on your floor, in front of your closet door, like you're not going to sell stuff. Like I don't understand why people don't understand that. And this is the other thing too is you got to be careful what you're watching too. Don't listen to all these people that you watch on the internet. You want to get all your information from the Reseller Leftover podcast, and you're going to be okay. Maybe a little bit from Trash to Cash. Trash to Cash had
No, that's the thing.
their best episode ever, I think, last week. That was a really good episode last week.
We
Shout out
actually
Trash to
talked
Cash.
about real stuff for a little bit there.
Yeah.
It was fun, but like, yeah, if you wanna wake up after the Reseller Information Network, because it's just dense. It's like a Thanksgiving dinner. It's nutritious. You're learning a lot, but like tech and sports, there's only so much you can take of that. If you need a palate cleanser, that's what Trash to Cash is for. We cleanse the palate.
How was that? How was you guys' little meet and greet down in Florida?
Dude, he's so busy, man. He was a little flaky flake with us. I feel like I like Tech a lot, but like
thought
I
you
met
guys
him and
had
he was
lunch
busy.
date.
We were going to, but he had a dude there with him from England. I think he was just stressed out. He was, yeah, he was stressed. I think he was stressed out and busy. That was the thing. So like I wanted to hang out with him. I wanted to, because like I'm a big tech and sports fan, and always.
I want to
because
know if he knows who I am.
Oh, he knows who you are. He knows.
You
Dude,
think
he
so?
knows a lot. Like he's kind of all seeing and all knowing. He's
Because
like
I did
Sauron.
once put out a video that kind of went against everything he was saying, but I did it respectfully.
Well, yeah, I mean,
No,
so
he's a
Because he
super good
wants-
dude. I'm not trying
he
to give him a
wants-
hard time, but he was
Yeah,
busy.
yeah.
And
Yeah. One time he put out the video where he was trying to tell people that if you put that uranium glass is gonna get banned from eBay, and I was like, whoa, let's slow down here, guys. And I had to tell everybody it's okay, man. Don't worry, you guys can still post your uranium glass on eBay.
you
know
gotta be
what's crazy?
careful. You're talking to somebody that won't touch uranium glass.
I don't have.
I'm
any
looking at your
uranium glass
last
left.
thumbnail where it's all mold. I'm not watching that video. I can't handle a mold infested yard sale. No way.
What happened?
His latest thumbnail.
You open these VHS and it's like all mold. And he's like, you can take them all for $200. Like, I'm like, what? And the staphylococcus? Kiss my ass.
Exactly. I'd be out of commission for like a month. I don't need that.
I've dug into some. I've been into some places before.
And it pissed me off, Gary, because that SLC Punk in there.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And yeah, like a used VHS of that will run you like $50, like easy. And anyway,
Joe,
covered them all.
when are you gonna put out the top 50 DVD list? That's what I want. Come on, man. I need you, bro, because I can't. I don't have the time to look through all the DVDs and stuff. But then I'll be listening to Joe talking about he sold this DVD for this amount of money, and I see people selling DVDs for $100 sometimes. But I need like the cheat sheet, the Cliff Notes. Give me the.
There's so many DVDs out there. I mean, I still have to look them up. You know what I
Go
mean?
with the Blu-ray because there's like everybody knows. Hey, I'll tell you this: don't be a menace to South Central on Blu-ray.
Oh yeah.
Buy it.
What about
How
like
much does that
Christ?
sell for?
What, $100? Go.
$100 probably.
Really?
Or Criterion Collection, is that still good, or is it like more flooded than it used to be? Because I used to find the Criterion Collection stuff, and because it was obscure movies and stuff
I
that
don't
didn't
know.
have many
I know.
releases.
I know. Dogma was good.
Yeah.
Dogma used to be good. Hold on.
Any like a lot of like the steel book ones, like the the Blu-rays that have like the metal.
50, Tim. Don't be a menace. 50.
50.
50, 60. Yeah, there are different things. But anyway, the changing slow cells, the reason why I was really thinking about it because you guys manage your time a lot better than I do.
No, I'm not horrible at it. I
You
just
said-
work when I open my eyes until I close my eyes. And it's
So
not
you're
good.
horrible at managing your time, but you work
Get a
nonstop
lot
with that. Be
done.
like, I did my best.
Yeah, basically.
Shitty results, but I worked the whole time.
Yeah.
But you look at something like Kevin. I was watching his video. He dropped one today, and he was talking about anytime that he hit something that's slow, like y'all send out offers, and I send out offers, but even at 10%, I can't do it. And I'm thinking like I want to run a sale and see what the difference is. So I'm going to do, instead of sending out 10% offer, run 10% sale, because I send out offers. All I get is counter offers. And I'm like, that's great. I'm glad you took my 10% offer and said, how about 40% off? Because that's close.
Oh, dude, I had one guy send me an offer for $1 for a card, right? And he's like, I would send you more, but your shipping is high. You could ship this for $1.29. And I go and I look at his store. He's selling cards, right? And I reply back to him. I'm like, listen, bro, like I don't do standard envelope shipping. And my shipping's only $2.70 more than your shipping. Okay,
Yeah.
so I don't know what to tell you. And he's like, just you're never gonna sell this card if you don't sell it to me for $1. I'm just like, I'm okay. I'm really okay.
I would
man.
just reply, I've ripped the card in half and I've thrown it away. That's how I'd reply to that.
Well, I got a message today on a beer tap. I don't know what it was, Bud Light, Coors Light, whatever. But it was I listed it for $45. Guy sends me a message. It says offers with 3 question marks. I said, yeah, I'm open to reasonable offers. What do you think his offer was?
How much was it listed for?
$47.
I'm gonna say he probably sent you an offer for $17.
15.
$8.
Ooh.
Whoa.
I don't get mad at that. I just counter back with the offer that I like. I counter with the offer the lowest I'm gonna give.
We're never. I mean, he's never going to buy it. And I put reasonable offer in there.
So did you just decline the offer?
These are messages because I don't have offers for naught. I don't have offers for naught.
You have
You
offers
should've
off
just
on
said-
everything?
Some things I have them on, but most of the stuff I have them off because of that.
You should have just told them like, no, shipping's included with that. You don't have to send an offer for additional shipping. Like that's it. If he's thinking he's gonna just pretend, play dumb, like he's sending an offer for shipping.
You mean
There you go.
$7 for shipping? Okay, I got it.
But-
DVD to look out for with sports though. Here's a sports DVD to look at. The 2001 Arizona Diamondbacks DVD set. Used $75. Look out for that.
Why is that?
DVD,
Does it actually move or something? Is it sell quickly or is it just like a
DVD or
random set?
Blu-ray?
DVD.
They didn't have Blu-ray, I think, back then, unless it was a reproduction. Unless they re-released it or something.
Do the Dallas Cowboys have anything on DVD, or is that all just still
No.
VHS?
No, they haven't won anything
yeah.
since VHS, dude.
Beta. What was the one before VHS? Beta. What was that one?
It's just all real. It's reel-to-reel stuff.
Reel
It's
to
most
reel.
of their highlight stuff.
You guys,
You can see
there's
some
no
real
team-
cool Rogers Staubach footage on reel-to-reel if you look.
You guys have the longest drought in the NFL right now of being to a conference.
Well
championship
aware,
game.
Tim. I'm well aware.
Oh, okay. I just wasn't sure if you knew that or not.
Well
Hey, at least
aware.
the Texans are good, though, you know?
And just when you think Dallas ownership just couldn't get any shittier, no. Maverick said, "Hold my beer."
Oh my
No,
god!
Dude, that trade is insane.
Worst
Hold
trade
his
in
ass in
NBA
there.
history.
Well, he can't hold his ass because he's too busy holding his head right now.
Did you see the guy? He was like, "My dog is named Luca. What am I supposed to do now? Call it Anthony
Kill it.
Davis?"
Kill the dog. Send it to Kevin. He'll take care of it.
Yeah, they.
All right. So the slow sell thing. When I said I saw Kevin's video, it wasn't just like promoting and stuff like that crap or sending out offers, but he just said like find something he don't want to list that you know is easy. He did a dang VCR. Like, is that typical for you? Do you just find the most obscure stuff that is worth money, but you know you can sell? Like I did a
Like listing, like stuff that you already have, or sourcing.
no stuff you already have.
See, I got to the point where I might have, like, I'd say that 95% of what I have right now is listed. I only have a few items that aren't listed right now that aren't sports cards because I kind of piled through all that stuff. And so now I've gotten really good at, if I buy something, I list it immediately because I can't go through life with a death pile anymore. Like, it doesn't mean no good.
All right, Tim's muted right now, folks. We're just taking care of him because he's talking about this not having a death pile stuff. I'm not. I want no part of that.
Well, you're not going to have a death pile much longer if you're going to become a big time Dibdit daddy, dude. You're gonna just start selling all your stuff. Then what are you gonna do? What are you gonna just be? Just like can barely speak English, annoying picker?
It's gotta have a balance with eBay though. For me, it's gotta have a balance. Like Dave, it is 100% a good decision because, like you said, he can always come back to it. But at this moment, like with the time management aspect, like the dude can just save so much time from shipping and listing and consolidate that down to the ease and convenience and then kind of organize the life. That's what I want to do. But then you're talking about some stuff that's like $100. Yeah. Like, what am I going to do?
Dude,
metal crock pot for $100 on Dibdit?
Well, a crock pot's going to be difficult. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% able to mentally do it yet either, but like I'm starting to get closer and closer to just running real good stuff because I've had okay luck on Dibdit with decent stuff. I'm not getting eBay prices, but I'm buying well enough typically that I can be profitable. So I mean, I'm excited. I want to support Dave in this as much as I can. Other than outside of doing my one whatnot show a week, I'm going to really be pushing Dibdit because I think with Dave behind it, the way he's doing it right now, I think it's going to continue to grow, but this could be like a big turning point to take it like up several notches. Yeah, I'm excited about it.
All right. Like I said, like it could be a dang good use of time for everybody around, like anybody that buys in and does it that has that death pile. And I mean, it doesn't apply to just that; it applies to everything else. And like I see that more coming on to Commons and looking at that marketplace more and seeing how people are going live. Like J-Ride goes on there and just pushes some stuff out. And there's other people, other markets that have done stuff like that where they will put $200 worth of stuff up there that they paid $10 for, but it's just so obscure, multi-quantity, and you just say, hey, there's $200 worth of stuff. We're going to start it at 50, and then they'll get it and it's gone. And they still made a profit. I mean, they made $40 and they don't have the headache and the multi-quantity and stuff like that. And I think that's how, psychos get down to having 95% of their stuff listed.
I'm a psycho.
Yeah, that's why. That's exactly why, because he has too much time and he's just like, I got time to not believe in dinosaurs.
Yeah, it's nonsense.
Done my research.
So you don't have cards, Tim? Like you don't have cards like put away that you're kind of just waiting to see if they pop? Like you have 95% of your sport because that's the hard thing. Like
that's why I
with
said
sports cards, it's tough.
Not sports cards.
Okay.
I'm actually in the process of with my sports card inventory. It's kind of interesting. I'm trying to list everything on Collects, my sports cards, and using that as my main database. and then cross listing to certain platforms. So if it's at a certain dollar amount, I'll put it on eBay. If it's at a certain dollar amount, and I might just leave it on collects, and then there's a certain dollar amount that I'll cross post to a district marketplace, whatnot, and eBay and Macari.
And
So
collects has the functionality of where like you don't even have to put a price. You could just basically use it as an organizational system where you just like I got, this many cards from this set, and then you'll know what you have in your inventory if somebody pops off, whether you sell it there or elsewhere.
yeah.
So Tim, do you have a separate lot of cards that you just run for auction?
Yeah.
Or-
So I separate everything after I buy it between like stuff I'm gonna list right now, stuff that I will run through at a $2 price point, and then stuff that I keep in a box organized by team to offer to people for sale live. So that way, there's cards I can run constantly at $2, and I don't mind losing, or if it sells at $2, or if it doesn't sell, if it sells for more, no matter what, I feel comfortable with. And then I keep everything organized by team. So I tell people, tell me a team, I'll show you a stack, and I'll pull out that team stack, and I'll go through each card. They'll tell me which ones that they want, and then I'll give them a price, and then they buy it or we negotiate. So that way they're getting the cards that they want without me having to run the individual card at $2. So I can make more money that way and they get a good deal, but I don't have to sell it to them for $2.
Well, I want to kind of close this out because we've kept y'all for a long time, and we recorded late and everything. So thank y'all for being here. But what do y'all recommend? Because a lot of people come in like they're super nostalgic. They see this card collecting going on. They kind of want to get back into it because they did it before, but they're just overwhelmed. Like you see Carrie pulling stuff from Rex. Do y'all suggest that, or do you say go hobby? Or in flipping it, what's your threshold? Like, where should people be listing these at what dollar amount versus the time that it takes for them to put it on eBay? I mean, it's a long-winded question, but
I mean, listen, you buy what you're comfortable buying. Like reselling cards is no different than reselling anything else. It really isn't. Like you just have to, Carrie said it early in this episode about education. Like you really have to like learn the ins and outs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you learn, like Joe learns about DVDs, like you learn about toys, like Jimmy learns about toys, like I did with glass, right? Like you got to put in a little bit of work. People are look at reselling so many times with the wrong lens of like it's easy, it's gonna be quick, and I'm just gonna buy this and sell it for that much money. It's never works like that, right? So like you have to be smart. It's just take calculated risk. Like for me, like that's what No Banger Sports Card Podcast is all about. It's like don't go out there and buy the most expensive thing. It's like golf. When people like, I'm going to learn how to play golf, and then they go out and they buy the most expensive set of clubs and they play like shit, right? Like when you could go to the thrift store and buy a set of clubs for $10.
See if you like it. See if you have
exactly.
a knack for it.
Like
and then
it's
build
just,
up. Yeah.
Be smart about it. And I think, try all the different things, but it's always best to go in light. But the thing is you have to have basic knowledge, because you can't go in and start selling like base cards and think that you're going to start reselling the money.
I will say this though, you go in like, and this has happened on Dibbed a little bit because people I think are excited about cards and they're interested, but they don't really know how to sell them. So they're going on an auction with base cards, selling them in lots. And here's the thing, the one benefit of that is you're not going to make money doing that. Yes. But, we all started reselling at some point, right? We all bought bad stuff. We sat it on eBay and we waited, most of us, or Amazon, wherever we did it. The one benefit of a live auction is you get instant feedback.
Yeah.
You can make this learning process a little bit quicker. You're hearing back from people, this isn't good. Oh crap. I just did a half hour, started everything at $1 and nobody bid. I just got feedback that none of this has value. So you're learning. It does accelerate the learning process. And for people who are selling cards on Dibdit that are, maybe not in the card game fully yet and are interested, just remember that if you get kind of punched in the jaw because you have a bad auction, it's a learning process. And the nice thing about doing what we do with Bargain Box is Like a lot of people are just doing it with random cards they found from around. So, but if you are going to
Yeah.
bargain boxes and you're losing occasionally, that's okay because you're definitely not going to buy that card in the future or that kind of card, and you're going to learn. And I'm surprised since starting my channel, like how much I've learned. Like I thought I knew a lot about sports cards, honestly, and I did compared to I guess a normal person. But when I had to film it and constantly think about everything I was doing and why I was doing it and explain it to people, I got a lot better at it. Just
I
from
see.
the
Well, I see a
practice and
lot of the bargain
explaining it.
boxes. Y'all kill it at the bargain boxes, and it's got me comfortable enough, like making buys for either Carrie or Rod that I've done, and I had them in mind where I could go. All right, I'm going to spend. I think one of them, what I spent $300 on it, but it took me seeing like low numbered, like to 10, some to 25. Patches, autos, a LeBron rookie, stuff like that. And I was like, all right, well, I know I'm going to be good here. And I just passed the deal on to them. But I wouldn't do the same thing with what do they call it? Retail pack? A rack pack? I don't know what they.
Yeah, well, if you're opening packs, I mean,
if you weren't making money on content, would you?
I was always opening packs, but I've accelerated a lot because I can. But there's a reason why I'm buying packs or $20 boxes and not buying $300 hobby boxes. I don't make enough money on the content consistently to make it a part of the business model, if that makes sense. So yeah, I do retail because that's what I've always done. One and two, that gives me the best chance to be profitable. But that's what a lot of people don't understand. They're like, you're getting kicked in the teeth because you don't get anything in these retail. And I'm like, I'm showing you what's in here. I'm showing you what has value and what doesn't. I'm, a lot of times making a lot on a video. Sometimes I lose, kind of like, anything in reselling. But yeah, I would not be opening as much as I am if it weren't for filming it and doing content on it. I'd like to, but I wouldn't be able to afford it. It would be a bad business decision.
So just go,
to put it that way.
just stick with, so somebody coming new into reselling, like even myself, like considering it, just stick with like the
Not
dollar
if you're trying to get inventory to flip, don't be buying boxes. But if I feel like everybody who's really into this does open a little bit, but do that for fun. And if you get something worth flipping, flip it. And if not, like go into opening products like for the love of what you're doing. Like I try to talk about that
in a dollar box. Like that's easier because you can find those things where you're spending $1 to $5 and you're able to double, triple your money and sometimes break even. You're not going to lose.
Yeah. And then, also like when you get into like if you really want to get into this and you're doing eBay and stuff, if you get a new product that just came out like Prism Football and you get a blaster box, you can put those, the Lamar Jackson base card up for $1.50 free shipping and ship it standard envelope and make 40 cents on it. So if you want to grind, you could still, mitigate some of your risk and then hope you get a big card that'll make it profitable. Most people don't want to do that. They only want the shiny card and the serial numbered card, and they throw the rest in the garbage. You can separate. You can buy a couple boxes and separate them into teams and sell team lots. There's ways to make money on that, but it's much more difficult. Not the best use of your time. But it's every one of us that are into cards, I feel like really hardcore. We love cards, so. It's we're gonna open occasionally. I don't think you open a ton, Tim, do you? I mean, we did with we split that $200 thing at the National. That was a lot of fun.
Box, yeah,
but that was kind of a good deal. But
yeah, I don't as much.
You're so practical about it.
Yeah, I find more value in the card shows and the singles than I do buying wax. Like I'll buy every once in a while, it just. But I got killed during the pandemic, like I just, that kind of like just was just too much. And then like the price of retail has gone up drastically. Like you used to be able to get a blaster box for like 20, 25 bucks and a mega for like 40, 50 bucks max. Now some of those things are like $60, $75 for a mega box, it's.
I think it's 70 for the mega box of Prism I got the other day, and I only did that once for a video. I'm not going to continually buy those.
Yeah, and like it's just knowing the checklist and knowing stuff like that. Like it's a more calculated risk for me because like I know that like 9 out of 10 times buying a Prism, you're going to get killed, right? Because the checklist is so big. And it's tough. And then like with like Absolute and stuff like that. Like literally, people are only chasing the kabooms. Like all that other Absolute stuff has very little value. So it's like for me, it's like at that point, I might as well go play Keno or something, you know? Like, it's just, if I want to have fun, like, I'd rather rip packs. Like, at my LCS, will sell, like, hobby box packs for pretty cheap sometimes. Like,
Yep.
if I want to have fun, I'll do something like that.
I would say that if you really want to, that's a good point. If you have like $20-$30 budget and you want to open and you enjoy it, you're better off going to a hobby shop that sells single hobby packs. Go buy a Leaf certified pack that has, 4 autos in the box or whatever for $25. Buy one hobby pack. And like I did that a couple weeks ago and I got an auto out of it, of a good decent
make
player.
sure you're
So
buying it from a company that doesn't keep, big cards under wraps for 3.5 weeks or something.
Yeah, right. Don't the journal entries though.
I was watching the episode and y'all were talking about it. In case everybody knows, the Paul Skeens 101, but they talked about it. Go check it out on their podcast. Did y'all solidify, like put down your like in stone answer? Is that bullshit or not bullshit?
It's not bullshit. It's legit.
No. What Topps did is it like
it's all fine.
Just to keep it under wraps.
Yeah.
A redemption card.
I mean, to a certain extent, yes. I went over that on the podcast. To a certain extent, it's kind of shady, I guess, because it allows people to sell those boxes at higher prices because people think that card is still live. But there's no they don't have a obligation to tell anybody that. Like, I mean, think about this. For the longest time, the Steph Curry, the Steph Curry gold refractor rookie was never pulled, right? But who knows? Somebody could have pulled it in their basement who doesn't have the internet. You know what I'm saying? So like, you never know. So it's like it doesn't really matter that much. We're in this age in social media where it's like people feel like they have like have to know these things. But
Steph Curry was a pull card, not a redemption.
You said what?
I said Steph Curry was just a pull card, a card that was in a pack.
Yeah, but they still. I mean, there's cards from the mid 2000s that were redemption cards.
The real problem with all of this, in my opinion, is that the whole value of these products are based off one random card. When I feel like for us at No Bangers, like there's value in the stuff in the middle. Yeah. I'm not saying you should go out and buy these boxes and flip everything, but the whole value doesn't rise or fall from whether the Paul Skeens 1/1 has been pulled, because if you're opening, you're not getting it. The chances are you're just astronomically small that you're going to get a Caitlin Clark 1/1 out of one pack at the National. But it can happen, but it's not likely. No, but that was astronomical. That's never going to happen again. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to get some cool cards, but that's like a once in a lifetime thing.
The amount of packs that were there to be.
That's just insane. It was the last day too. But the whole thing is like, if you're basing your buying decision on a product based on that, then you're making a ton of bad decisions out the gate anyway. Like if you're flipping cards and you're opening product to flip cards, it's already risky. But you have to go into like something like Bowman where there's so many prospects. And that you can hold these and hopefully they go up, or you're cool selling. Like I loved a product that has a lot of good rookies in it. Like I can get $2 a piece for all these. I can get $3 for the Penixes. I can get $5 for both. I mean, this is a good year for football. So there's a lot of rookies that are worth $3 to $6 that you can get out of an absolute blaster, for example. But is it worth the price of a blaster? Probably not, unless you get a big hit.
All right, now. Quick thing before we go. I keep saying quick thing before we go. We got to let y'all go. But Eagles or Chiefs in the Super Bowl? What do you think?
Listen, I feel like I've had this
None
conversation like 27 times in the last like 3 days, and I haven't even done Authentic in the Beard yet. I'll tell you that.
Are y'all going to deep dive in it?
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do a Super Bowl preview for sure. Okay. I'll tell you that I hate betting against Patrick Mahomes. I really do. But I think that this Eagles team is special in certain ways that win championships. They run the ball better than the Chiefs. I think defensively they can force turnovers more than the Chiefs. I think that if Philadelphia plays their game and they play a trench style sort of game with a little bit of A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith sprinkled in, I think they can win this game. I think they have a better team than the Kansas City Chiefs, and I think the Eagles win.
Yeah, but you're not factoring in the best player on the Chiefs, the referees.
The refs. Ooh, here, carry the. Always
Right.
got to be somebody.
Well,
I've already predicted. I put my prediction in the podcast. I'm saying Philly's going to win 3-2. One field goal and a safety. That's the whole game. It's going to be if it's going to be the Chiefs and the Eagles in the Super Bowl, I want everyone to suffer, not just me. Who wants to watch that?
Joe.
I do.
Joe. Well, yeah, Joe. Sorry, Joe. I apologize. Who outside of Philadelphia and Kansas City or Missouri and Pennsylvania? Yeah, you guys do, but like outside of that, I don't know. I'm tired of Philly. No offense, but I'm more tired of Kansas City.
You're not
so I'm
tired
rooting
of
for
Chiefs?
Philly.
Okay. Right.
No, I'm more tired of them. I'm rooting for the Eagles. I'm rooting for the Eagles.
I love Saquon Barkley. I just think
I love Saquon.
I think
Agreed.
Saquon Barkley's story is just really good, and Joe knows I've always been a defender of Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts doesn't get the respect that he deserves. So, I mean, Nick Sirianni's not everybody's cup of tea. I understand that. And the Philly fans, I know Joe, I know Keith, not all Philly fans are douchebags, right? Like the internet wants you to believe. I mean, there's a lot of them. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of them, but there also are some really genuine good fans. I really think this would be awesome. You can't lose. I mean, yes, we all hate the Chiefs, but nobody's ever three-peated in NFL history. So it's like you have that on one hand. I love history when it comes to sports. If somebody's gonna make history, I think that's cool to watch. But then you have Saquon and Jalen Hurts, winning the Super Bowl. It's like, I don't know. It's gonna be fun to watch in that aspect, and I'll bet a lot of weird bets too. So, who you got winning, Joe?
Eagles, but they cannot let it be a one-score game in the fourth quarter with Mahomes having the ball.
Two-score. You can't let it be a two-score game.
Or whatever. But you can't have Mahomes having a chance to win it in the last drive or something like that. Can't be that way. But Eagles win.
They're not going to separate them that bad. Sorry, you just not. It's going to be a close game. It will be super close. Well, what's the line? It's got to be I
don't even know.
3.5, 4 maybe.
I'd imagine so. Hold on 1 second. I'll tell you. It's a good question. I think it's probably. I bet you it's. Who do you think's favored? I don't know. That's tough.
Chiefs.
I would personally put Philly minus 2.5 at Philly.
What? You think Philly's favored?
The Chiefs are favored right now by 1.5.
1.5. So it's even closer. Yeah.
Over under is 48.5.
And you want to sit there and say, I want it to be 2-score. Yeah, dude.
I'm just saying it's going to have to be.
Just get some preparation aid because your butt all going to be puckered for about 3 hours straight.
I can't have chest pain for 2 hours.
Tux medicated wipes.
AJ Brown plus 1,100 for first touchdown. Xavier Worthy plus 1,000 for first touchdown. I like Xavier Worthy plus 1,000 for first. I mean, Saquon Barkley's plus 400 for first touchdown. Those are crazy odds right now. Sorry, I got carried away.
That's what you think. Crazy bet's coming. That's it.
Mike, give us your prediction.
Huh? Oh, I say it's gonna be Chiefs. It'll be Chiefs by probably 4. I would say. That's where I would lie. I don't know how.
4 touchdowns?
No, by 4 points probably.
Okay.
It wouldn't surprise me to be right at a field goal, but I'm thinking 4 safely. Okay. It's going to be where the Eagles are ahead by 3, and then they just go down and score a touchdown, and now, boom, Mike was right. Exactly 4.
I hope you're not, Mike.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, it's fine. You want to sit there and watch your city burn because they win a Super Bowl? So be it. Go knock yourself out.
Either way, if they win or lose.
Well, I know, but they're the only ones that burn either way. We just won. What do you want to do?
We climb the pole.
Yeah, climb the poles and eat dog poo.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Fall off it and kill yourself. I mean, that's what he did.
Yeah. You did.
Fell off a light pole and died.
Poor guy.
Can you imagine eating dog poo though?
No. Got to draw the line somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't read the autopsy report. I'm unaware. All right, we've been doing this for an hour and 44 minutes.
Yep.
So that was a good way to end it. Yeah.
That's the way we do it.
We would have ended it in the middle of that, right when you were talking about that. That's when we would have cut it.
Running the whole way because we got to make sure people stay out of Philadelphia this weekend. And just take care of yourselves, and make sure to go check out Tim's Kitchen on Over the Years Sports everywhere across the board, and then Carrie's Kitchen at American
Arbitrage.
Yeah. American Arbitrage Cards on YouTube and Instagram and all over the place as well.
And
Thank you very much, guys. Y'all have a great night.
No bangers, yeah. Thank you, Joe. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Take care.